Can it dance?
Currently speaking with BlueClaws outfielder Brian Gump. Brian, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about you've been picking it up, getting a little hot over the past few days, maybe the past series or so. Just what do you attribute to the improvements you made? Any changes to your approach at all or anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Lager have been working real hard with my swing. We changed a couple things with my mechanics. And it feels like I'm a new hitter, you know. Really, it's funny. It's not very big changes, but he saw it and he told me about it and he said it's your choice if you want to do it or not and make the change, and I did, and it's really starting to pay off, so I'm very excited about it. But got to give a lot of thanks to him because he really played a huge part in that. So.
Of course, you're talking about Greg Legg, the hitting coach, and you know, you can always hear players talking about the little things making the biggest differences. But anything you could tell me specifically what the switch or the alteration was?
There's one part of just one lower half thing and one upper half thing. My lower half just keeping my front side closed more, so I had something to hit against. So I was kind of leaking, opening up my front side, and that was causing me to lose a lot of pop. And then I was flaring a lot of balls to left field instead of driving them. So, and then with my hands, just working on getting extended through the ball instead of pulling off it. They're kind of connected. So.
All right. Besides the adjustments with the hitting recently, is there anything specifically in your game that you're working on improving?
Right now, I'm really focused on hitting, but just really, what I've done a lot better here is when I'm playing, and even when I'm practicing, all this pregame stuff, I've been much more focused. I'm really focused. Everything I'm doing, the ground balls I'm taking the outfield, everything, I've been able to kind of sharpen my focus. So I've really been focusing on focusing.
All right. I also wanted to ask you about your draft experience last year, coming to the Phillies out of college, and kind of got drafted in what would be considered later rounds. But just tell me about what your draft experience was like, and maybe how you found out what you were doing, and how you were kind of tracking maybe your position and where you might go.
Well, senior year, I got drafted my junior as well, and it didn't work out how it sounded like it was going to work out. I was going to go 8 to 12. That's what a couple of teams were telling me, 8 to 12th round. Ended up going in the 46th. So I knew coming into senior year that I just had to enjoy myself, have a good season, and then when the draft time came, I was smart enough this time to not watch the draft. I was actually in Santa Barbara where I go to school, fishing on a pier. And my buddy, Joe Gardner, who got drafted in the 3rd round by the Indians, called me when I got drafted and said, hey, man, you just got drafted. But I actually thought the Brewers were going to take him because they called me right before and said, hey, we're going to take you. And so I asked him, I was like, who was it, the Brewers? He's like, no, Phillies. I was like, really? That's awesome. So I was pretty stoked about it. And, I mean, it's been a great experience so far, and I'm just trying to make the most of it.
All right, so kind of like the 2008 playoffs, the Phillies beat the Brewers to the punch there with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Talk about the BlueClaws clinching the playoff spot last week, and I know you were here through the championship series last year and all of that. And were you able to kind of bond with players last year that are still here with you now? And do you guys carry that over at all? And what was it like doing it with some new guys too?
You know, it's a ton of fun. It's always fun having a little champagne celebration. Of course, winning is fun. I showed up just the right time, you know, get here for 5 games or so and then get to celebrate with them. But I'm happy I could contribute. I made a few contributions early there. But, I mean, as far as the guys go, it's weird. I love those guys that are up in Clearwater now. You know, I was playing with them last year. And I've made a lot of great friends on that team. But this is actually my draft class, so most of these guys are. So I feel a little more comfortable. I don't know why, but I felt really comfortable just right off the bat when I came here. And, you know, a lot of these guys were in Williamsport last year, and I didn't get to play with them. But in spring training, we bonded quite a bit. And like Buccini and all those guys are pretty good friends with all of them, so fit right in.
Now, you and Sebastian Valle and Matt Way went through this together last year. Maybe there's a couple other guys that I'm not thinking of right now. Diekman, I know, also. But if you guys were to keep this going through September and make this happen again, would you guys pretty much be bonded for life, do you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you always talk about the teams where you win championships. You always keep in touch with those guys. And, you know, every time you see them, you end up talking about it. I still have guys that I played Little League with that I grew up with. And we were on some championship teams, and every time I go home, you know, they bring it up, and we start talking about the games and how fun it was. And so, absolutely. And those guys are, you know, they're great friends of mine anyway. So, championship or not, I think we'll obviously be playing together for a few more years, hopefully. But, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to it. We've had the experience last year, and we want to build on it this year. So,
sounds great. Wanted to ask you went to UC Santa Barbara. Did you grow up around there?
I grew up 2 hours south
Okay.
in Orange County, right by Long Beach.
Who was your favorite team and your favorite player growing up?
Angels are my favorite team. Ken Griffey Jr. definitely one of my favorites. He's kind of the reason I started playing outfield, and the way he played the outfield was a lot of fun to watch. Then Torrey Hunter, more recently, since I got to watch him in my hometown. But both great outfielders.
If you could play in one major league ballpark, which one would you pick?
Either Phillies or Angels. You know, it's always a dream growing up to play in your hometown park in front of your whole family and all your friends and stuff. So that'd be awesome. But wouldn't mind playing for the Phillies in Philly.
All right. And I got one last thing for you. You got Andre Dawson, the Hawk, the Hall of Famer for this year's class, is going to be in the house tonight, throwing out a ceremonial pitch, signing autographs for folks. When you get to be that close to a guy of that stature, does that excite the team? Do you guys kind of feed off of that? Do you guys get to see him and talk to him or shake his hand at all?
I'm not sure how much we're going to get to see him. I really hope we get to see him. You know, I hope he comes in our clubhouse and hangs out a bit because he's obviously a legend. And when you're around guys like that, it's almost you don't know what to say. You don't know what to ask. There's so much that they have to dispense, and hopefully they're nice enough to dispense it, and usually they are. But yeah, it's kind of mind-boggling because they've done so much. But it's going to be exciting for sure. So.